Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. Tuesday afternoon, we had the big Trump-Putin call this morning, hour and a half. Not much was expected to come of this. We know that Europe's not invited. We know that, more importantly, Zelensky's not invited. So whatever Putin and Trump agree to is meaningless. We also know that before the meeting, Trump said one of the things they would discuss is how to divide the assets. So yes, the President of the United States is literally talking about spoils of war for us, right? My country, the United States, for him, for Trump. Let me clarify that. This would be for Trump, not for the United States. And Vladimir Putin, the aggressor, the invader of a sovereign European nation. This is what these two leaders got on the phone to discuss for an hour and a half. Somehow, Trump is still looking for a Nobel Peace Prize out of this, even though he and his people always talk about how ridiculous these organizations and these prizes that they give out are. He still always talks about wanting one and deserving one. So do his people. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is spoils of war, what Trump is going to extract from the natural resources of Ukraine as a result of his buddy Vladimir Putin invading it 3 years ago. For the second time, and that being 8 years after his first invasion. This is ridiculous. So we have a Kremlin readout and we have a U.S. readout. This is always what happens, especially when Trump and Putin meet, because usually no one else is in the room to hear about what they're really discussing. But it's common for both sides, you have translation issues, both sides to give their readout of the meeting. Surprisingly, somewhat, Putin has said that they would agree, and they are agreeing, to a ceasefire for attacks on infrastructure and energy infrastructure specifically, and cessation of hostilities in the Black Sea. Now, infrastructure, there is a lot of damage that Russia does to Ukraine. They've already done it. Ukraine is having a lot of success against Russian energy infrastructure with their drones especially. So I would think that would be a win for Putin, but we need to stop having Russia launching missiles and attacks into Ukraine. So anything there is a good thing if that can stop. As far as the Black Sea, I guess that's somewhat of a win for Ukraine because they are shipping their grain and their exports to other countries. So if those aren't attacked, that's a good thing. But Ukraine has decimated Russia's Black Fleet already. I believe they already kind of own the sea there. That I think I would view that more as a win for Russia, more so than the attack on energy infrastructure. They're both wins for Russia, obviously. That's why Putin would agree to them. But I think the Black Sea ceasefire would help out Putin more because they need to not worry about their navy in the Black Sea. If they can take that off their plate, then that would be great for them. None of this is going to matter, I don't think, because in the Russian readout and not in the U.S. readout is the stipulation that the condition that the U.S. would immediately cease arms and intelligence to Ukraine. And there's your non-starter. None of this is going anywhere. It's something that people are talking about right now, but I think there's uncertainty around it because it wasn't in the initial U.S. readout, and it was unclear in the Russian readout as to is that just like table stakes? You got to have the secession of arms and intelligence, like we did have pause for a little bit there. Soon as we allowed arms and intelligence to flow again, really the intelligence, Ukraine started just hammering Russia again, their energy infrastructure. So this is what Russia needs to stop. And Donald Trump can agree all he wants to not ship arms and not ship intelligence to Ukraine, but Ukraine's not going to stop unless Putin stops. So I am sorry to say I don't see this going anywhere. Not today or in the immediate future. I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully there is some translation issue there. Hopefully there is some leniency there that this ceasefire on infrastructure, and specifically energy infrastructure, would start immediately. I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out. Also, with Canada, with their the guys' world tour, which usually starts with the United States as their first official state visit when they are elected. He went to Europe instead and was embraced with open arms. I crack up every time I see Macron, his just exuberance when anyone, whether it's Trump or whether it's Keir Starmer or whoever it is, Zelensky. Now this time, it's just pretty funny how excited he gets to welcome people to the palace there, and I think it's awesome. Now I do think that you do have to play the game if you're Canada, unfortunately. I saw the remarks that he said Canada was the most European non-European nation, and that's obviously an appeal to the European leaders that, hey, we're just like you, we want to be with you, we want to be part of you, and I think that's true. There's nothing false about that. There's nothing wrong with that. What the right in the U.S. will do is use that to turn American sentiment for their base against Canada. There is no animosity towards Canada among Americans that I've seen, even from conservatives, even on the right. But there will be. Remember when France wasn't going to help us out in the Middle East, and it was ridiculous. There was something about calling French fries freedom fries. It was laughable. It was funny. It was a joke. But there is that patriotic element in the United States, obviously, when we are bullying people who have invaded us or invaded our allies. Canada has done no such thing. So Americans haven't turned on them like Canadians have in spades against us, and we absolutely deserve that. More. I'm applauding you, Europe and Canada. Keep the pressure on this administration. But you can go too far. You can say, if they go, hey, we are Europe, we're not North American. If Canada continues down that path, I think that will turn off conservative Americans, of which I am not one. But 40 some odd % of Americans are. I think Canada's better play is what they've been doing, which is we are strong. We don't need the United States. We are Canada. We are a sovereign nation. We always have been, always will be. Keep doing that. That is not only true, but it earns the respect of all Americans, not just the ones who are reasonable. So keep that up. Rubio's comments leading up to the G7 meeting and then during and after the G7 meeting were just despicable. Just laying it on about the 51st state. It never was funny. It never is funny when Trump says things. And as people try that seemingly should know better, try to play it off as, hey, isn't that funny? And, oh, I guess the Canadians don't all agree on that. But it is insulting. It is offensive. It is It is harmful. It is it is un-American. And Rubio, he deserves no benefit of any doubt. He is full on all Trump all the time now, and he doesn't have any right to annex Canada. The U.S. doesn't, or for Canada to become a 51st state. That's ridiculous. But Trump keeps saying it, and when he sits there in the Oval Office and talks about history, he is the least informed person to ever occupy the White House when it comes to history, and you have conservatives who live up there who know a little bit about the Canadian-U.S. relationship. So those same people, maybe up in Pennsylvania that don't know, or Michigan that don't know anything about the southern border, his voters, other than what Fox News tells them, well, they have lifetimes of living next to Canada and interacting with Canada. So they know better. So when Trump sits there in the Oval Office espousing his nonsense about Canada, his voters up in the North know better. They know that, and at that point, even though they've believed him all along about the nonsense he spews about the southern border and being run by these armies of homeless people amassing at the border, they know better when he is talking that nonsense about Canada. And that's going to raise some eyebrows the more Trump does that. So this is a case where his ignorance is actually beneficial to us because the people up north know better. The people down here along the southern border, there are plenty of people who are impacted by the southern border, but there's also plenty of just racists, xenophobes, the worst people. But I think up in the north, even though you can have racists and xenophobes up there too, it's Canada. Canada's great, and the people up there know that. So when Trump is making up his nonsense about history and about Canada, I don't think that's going to serve him well. I want to wait and see more about Zelensky's responses to the Putin-Trump meeting. We'll see what the European response is. I know the soon-to-be German Chancellor did not have good things to say about it. Another thing, big news out of Germany there. This was expected, but they are going to be able to spend a whole lot more on their defense budget now. And it's good for them, it's necessary for them, but if Putin thought he was scared of the United States being armed to the teeth, wait till Germany is armed to the teeth again. You've already got Poland, you've already got the Scandinavian countries, the Baltic countries doing what they can. They're not Germany. They don't have the resources that Germany has. So I hope you're happy with what you have wrought upon yourself, Mr. Putin, because you are... this is what you have enjoyed. You too have enjoyed the peace, the security of the American defense umbrella over Europe and for the past 80 years. And now that's all about to be gone because all of these countries are going to arm to the teeth, beginning with Germany. It's going to take some years to ramp up, but they've got it and they are going to do it, it looks like. Okay, that's it for today. Maybe another one later tonight. I'm not sure. There's a lot to talk about today. I didn't want to dedicate a video to just one thing. There's just too much going on. And it's exciting times. And we'll talk later.